Today we are doing fundamentals. That is skills that you can work on anytime that will just improve your overall ability to paint in watercolor. And in this case, I thought it would be fun to start out doing mixing of colors with complementary colors. So I'm going to pop up a color wheel on the screen for you to take a look at. Today we're going to be looking at two colors that are opposite on the color wheel. Magenta. In this case I'm using quinacridone rose for my magenta. This is the same set of colors that came with the coneflower exercise painting that you can do. And so working on this skill is going to help you to paint that painting, in which we use complementary colors to both tone down and correct the color of pink that we want, and also to create a really dark neutral, which we used in the place of having brown paint on our palette. So the first thing that I am going to do is to activate my paints. These are little dry dots that come in the kit. You can use whatever paint you have on hand. These are just the ones that happen to be used in that painting. And what we're going to do is just work from left to right across the page and put in a range of hues, starting from our pure magenta and mixing increasing quantities of sap green until we get to pure sap green on the other side. Think of this as if you were doing scales on a piano or when you're singing. Each one of these dots is a note, and instead of changing in pitch, we are changing in hue. So that is our pure quinacridone magenta. And on this next go around, I just want to make sure that I have lots of magenta on hand. So for the next dot, we're going to take a tiny little bit. Okay, when I say tiny, I mean tiny. Just a tiny little bit of our sap green, and we're going to mix it directly into the mixture. Directly into our pink. And we're going to repeat. So we're going to pick up a tiny bit of green on our brush. Actually, that's not too tiny. And we're going to mix it. This is about where we started when we were painting our coneflower. This is just the darkest value. We take a little bit more of the green and mix it in. You can see that, rinse your brush out, take a little bit more of the green, mix it in. As we continue to mix the green into the pink, we're getting a more neutral color, a devalued pink, a dusty pink, more green. Around this time that we get to the middle of the page, we want to have roughly an equal mixture of the pink, the rose, to green. I just had to mix a little bit more here. Okay. We're getting a little bit of a difference in tone because I added more pigment. That's fine. This is still going to be informative. So I'm just going to keep going here and add more green. More green. As we add more green, we're getting a really nice brown color, and this is around the range that we used for the dark brown, the dark neutral brown in the coneflower. We're starting to definitely see a greener tint. A greener hue. A little bit more. As you can see, I'm not making these perfect. That's not the aim of this whole exercise. We're not trying to make perfect squares or make anything that's just super gorgeous and postable. This is really a learning tool and will be very helpful for you as a future reference for how to mix with these colors. So we're on the last one here. You can see how close we are now to the original color. So this is the pure magenta and the pure sap green. This exercise is extremely useful for building your mixing skills, your knowledge of your paint, and being able to take these and then incorporate them into your paintings. I hope you enjoyed creating this with me. I thoroughly encourage you to experiment with all the colors you own this way and see all the beautiful mixtures that you can make.